How is it going, guys? Welcome back to Davinci Resolve editing tutorial. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a smooth zoom in or zoom out transition. Before we even begin, I'm going to show you a very simple method that is probably not what you're here to look for, but if it is, then here you go. Basically, when you have your two clips, or even just one clip, you can Control B to make a cut, and on the second clip, change it to whatever zoom you want it to be, and then just go to the video transition tab, and there's straight up a zoom in effect that you can use, and you can change the duration of it. It's not perfect, but if that's what you want, that is very good. It works very well. But there's a better method that I'm sure you actually clicked on this video to learn. And I apologize if I stutter a lot. I am on fucking Adderall. Alright, basically, I'm going to assume you know a little bit about keyframes. If you don't, basically in the zoom section of your video, this little dot, when you click it, and then you go, let's say, I don't know, a bunch of frames ahead, and then you make another dot, and then you change the zoom on the second dot to 1.2. That makes it so from the first keyframe you made to the second keyframe, it would zoom in. Let me make it a bit more obvious for you guys. Yeah, so the first keyframe, everything up until the first keyframe should be the same as the first keyframe's settings. So basically, for me, it's 1.0. So the whole video up until the first keyframe is 1.0. And then from the 1.0 keyframe until the second keyframe, the 2.0 keyframe, it's going to be building up to that. So for me, it takes about, I think I made it like 11 frames. That isn't exactly super smooth. If that works for you, then that's good, because that is a good keyframe. But if you want to do something a bit more smooth, I guess, that is pretty abrupt. It starts abruptly and ends abruptly, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a more smooth way of doing it would be to... Alright, let's start at the exact 1 second mark, just to make it easy to visualize. Then let's say you want it to take exactly 1 second to go from 1.0 to 2.0. Boom. There you go. That's how you do that. That's the abrupt way of doing it, and that looks semi-smooth. But what I would do is I would make it take about, let's say, 1.2 seconds to get to 1.2, because otherwise it would take about it would get to 1.33ish, and then at about the 1.4 section, you make that keyframe at 1.8, and then at the 2 second mark it would be 2. So what you're doing is the exact same thing. It still takes 1 second to get from 1 to get to 2, but the start is a bit slower and the end is a bit slower, so it's just a bit more smooth. It eases you into it a bit more, and you can change it to your exact liking as well. It doesn't have to be exactly 1.2 seconds to get to 1.2. You can change it to be 1.1 seconds to get to 1.2, or even 1.3 to get to 1.2. It's just how you think looks best. In my opinion, this is how it looks. This looks really good to me, as it starts you off with a low zoom and ends off with a zoom, and you still get the full fluid motion. Just it starts off and ends off a bit more smooth and less rigid, if that makes sense. Anyways, thank you for watching. It really means a ton to me. Make sure you do drop a like and a sub. Stay awesome, and peace out.